So in today's talk, I will talk about the Paticca Samuppada and what we can learn from this doctrine and how this doctrine has then spread into many doctrines that the Buddha has formulated for us. And this Paticca Samuppada, the word Paticca Samuppada means dependent origination. It also means depend on something, then something arise. Alright? So that is the meaning of dependent origin. So today's subject is actually very heavy. I need you all to have a lot of rooms in your mind to picture the concept. It's about concept, mostly about concept. Now, during the Buddha's time, when he was sitting under the Bodhi tree, he has got three great watch, the three main watch. So the first watch was between 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock in the night. So he could penetrate it and able to see the works of the karma. That means he born and then he lived his life and then he died. And then he understood, when he died, he wasn't born in the same person again. He was born in another person again. Right? Then again, due to his action, then he was born again. And then he also understood that he was born sometime in the happy realm and sometime in the woeful realm. So then that way, he actually understood that there is a lot of karma involved. So it's the karma that make us to born and die. So this is like a cycle, like a wheel, a goloka, going on, going on. Then on the second watch between 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, he could actually see his friends, his relative, his family member also had their life, and then whatever they do, when they die, then the karmic force them to go to another world. So that means he has gone to the second layer. He's able to see other people's life as well. He could penetrate through that visions. So so then it was very clear to him that in a human being, it is actually the karma that move from one life to another life. So this explains the rebirth, explain the rebirth. And on the third watch, between 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock, then he went into very deep meditative mood, and he could actually understand the Paticca Samuppada. So the Paticca Samuppada for you and me, we cannot understand until the Buddha make it into like 12 links, step by step. So he formulated, the Buddha is actually a very clever teacher. He actually formulated the links for us. And by understanding the links, then we could understand how come we are born and die, born and die. You remember when the Buddha was Prince Siddhartha, during that time when he's Prince Siddhartha, one night, he churi, he went out from the palace. So when he went out to the palace, he and Chana was his rider, and he has never seen an old man before, So he got shocked. He asked Chana, "What is this?" Chana said, "This is an old man." Then he said, "Why his face is wrinkled? Why he looks so ugly like you and I? Like today we are ugly." So Chana said, "My Lord, you are subjected to become old like that too." Oh, he got shocked. So he didn't realize that the pretty face he has will become old. Then after that, as they go along, then they saw the man, lying on the bed, and then he has got leprosy. So they said, "Hey, what happened to him?" So Chana said he has contracted disease, right? So Chana also said, "My Lord, you will also kena this disease, same like him." So he got another shock. He got second shock. So he couldn't believe that this thing will happen to him. You remember the story that King Sododana was protecting him and built three palaces: summer palace, rainy palace, and also a winter palace. So he lived in the palace. He has got all the luxuries in his life because the father knew that one day he's going to become a great monarch, not great monarch, sorry, great teacher. And the father want him to be a monarch. So that's why the father protect him from seeing the people that are old age and sick. You know, so he was shocked to see the old man. He was also shocked to see the man, the sick man. And then the third sight was he saw people die and their family member crying. So he asked Chana, Chana, what's going on? How come he cannot move? Chana said, this man died, the end of his life. He cannot breathe anymore, he cannot walk anymore, he cannot talk anymore. Sir, my Lord, one day you'll be like that. So he got a shock, He said, how can? I will also die? Yes, he will also die. So that question that Prince Siddhartha has was troubling him all the way in the palace, all the way. So that's why he was very determined to destroy himself and went into the forest. Yeah, so he went to the forest. He made some friends. He got many friends. During the Buddha time, 2,600 years ago, the India was ruled by the Brahmana tradition, whereby the caste system, Brahmin is the top, followed by Katiya, Vesa, and Sudha. So the Brahmin are the ones that has got the rights to do all the ritual to the god, and they are the one that can read the Veda. Veda is the holy scripture for Brahmanism. That time no Hinduism, no, it's Brahmanism, and the Brahmin was monopolizing the business, so to speak. So the other three castes, these castes are actually by profession. The second caste are the royalty and the warriors. Then the third caste, the Vesa, are the merchants. Are the merchants, are the businessmen. And then the last class are the low class doing manual work, doing laborious work. And all these three castes also want to worship the God, but they cannot worship the God. Because during the time of Brahmana, they learn about moksha, meaning when they die, they want to be reunited to Brahma. Brahma, the supreme Lord, the creator of the whole world, the creator of man. So everyone in India at that time wants to achieve moksha. Moksha is the way to go back and to be with God. They believe they are born out of God's body. The Brahmin are born from the mouth, all right, and then the Katiya is born from the shoulder of the Brahma, and then the Veda was born from the thigh, and then this Sudha is born from the feet of Brahma. So these people wants to be reunited to the Lord Brahma. So this Siddhartha, then I think you know the story. He left the palace. So the baby was still very young. Rahula was born. He left, and then he go. So he went to China with a white horse. I forgot the horse name. So what's the horse name? Kantaka. Yeah, thank you. So then the Siddhartha then took out took his hair and took the knife and cut off. He shaved off. Then after that, he says, "No, I will go forward." That means he wants to find the question he want to find the answer to the question why I will become old, why I will fall sick, why I will die. So these are the three key questions that drive him to become a monk, right? So he became a bhikkhu. But when he became a monk, at that time it's called a samana. Samana is those who practice yoga in the olden days. So he was going to learn from many schools. So in India at that time there were a few thousand schools, more than 2,000 schools, like Kundalini. If you heard of Kundalini, they got Chakra. So there's also one type. They got many types. So he then met these five ascetics like him, still looking for answer to salvation, to liberation. So he has got five good friends, Konania, Asaji, Badia, Wapa, and Mahanama. So these five were doing the same thing. So one of the way they do was self-mortification, meaning they punish their body. They don't want to eat, they deprive from sleeping, they deprive themselves from drinking, and by punishing the body, they can punish the karma away. And by doing that, they can achieve moksha. So this is what he was doing. So he did until very extreme. Until so extreme that his fat all gone, his body all so slim. He says, when I touch my belly, I could actually touch my bone, my backbone. He says, when I just feel my hand, all the hair drop. So he was about to die unconsciously. Then, as he was going there, then he saw a man and a son on the boat. So the man was telling the son, when you tune your guitar, you cannot tune too tight. If it's too tight, you break the string. You cannot tune too loose because you cannot play music. You must tune it at the right tension. That means do it correctly. Then you can play music. Then it dawned upon him. He says, wow, I have gone to too extreme. So maybe this is not the way. Because it is waggle, it is not profitable, and I cannot achieve my goal. My goal is to find out why we grow old, why we fall sick, why we die. So he said, this is not the way. Then he then put a bowl in the water. This river is called Mahanjara River. But the river today in India no more dry today. You can only see some sand there, right? So he put in the stream. He tell himself, show me the sign that if I can find the salvation, that when am I on the right track. So strangely, the bowl did not flow according to the water flow. The bowl was flowing up against the water flow. Then he knew. Then he knew that it is what he did was right to get out from his self-mortification. Then he found a Bodhi tree. And then actually he hadn't found a Bodhi tree yet. He was around there lying down on the tree. Then there was this lady by the name of Sujata. I heard a story. So Sujata saw him, thought he would need some rice. So then he gave the coconut rice. So then he took from Sujata. So that was the beginning of nourishment for him. So then he gained his composure, he gained his strength, he gained his energy. Then he came back. Then he found the Bodhi tree. Then when he found the Bodhi tree, he told the Bodhi tree that I'm going here to find the answer to the three questions. Remember the three questions? Yeah. So he says, otherwise I'm not going to get up. And true enough, I told you the first watch, second watch, and the third watch. By the time when he saw the third watch, he saw Paticcasamuppada. He saw Paticcasamuppada. He saw how the 12 links, one giving rise to another, and that's how we are here stuck in the samsara. So that actually gave birth to a lot of doctrine. He also gave birth to the Four Noble Truths, which I'm going to explain to you. He also gave birth to the anatta. Anatta means non-self. So I'm going to explain to you. He gave birth to the Four Noble Path, the how to get out from this samsara world. So this is quite interesting, right? All right. So far, so good. All right. So I continue. Okay, so dependent originations, everything arises based on the condition and nothing exists independently or eternally, including the self. There is no permanent self. Meaning, meaning there's a formula, no? The Buddha says, when this happen, that come to be. When this arise, that arises. When this does not happen, that will not come to be. When this does not, when this does not arise, that ceases. So this is the formula. This is the formula that the Buddha taught. So because there is a cause, then something arises. There's a cause, something arises. So this is the meaning. There's nothing that is permanent. It has to come from somewhere. That means we have to come from somewhere. The earth, everything has to come from somewhere. It cannot just pop up like that. It can take a reason. Because through the three great watch and the karma, he saw that, right? Oh, we are still here. And then the other thing that he also spoke about is that we have what we know now today is the five khandha. The five khandha is the five aggregate, the body and the mind. This is the physical and the mental phenomena that comes together, and due to the ignorant, it gives birth. It gives birth to this consciousness. Now, before I go, let me continue with this first. Anatta, yeah, the concepts of permanent, unchanging soul or self-illusion. The Buddha emphasized that clinging to such idea is suffering. So the Buddha at that time was in the, remember I told you the Brahmanism and all that. In Brahmanism, they believe there's a soul. So the soul will, when you die, the soul will continue. Just tukar baju saja. You just change your clothes. So you'll be somebody, but the soul is the same. The soul is the same. Now with this Paticca Samuppada, later which I'm going to explain how ignorance has caused for this mental formation, and how the mental formation then give rise to consciousness. The consciousness give rise to nama rupa, and so forth. So in that sense, the Buddha says there is no beginning, there is no soul, because the five aggregate are broken up into the six sense faculty: our eye, our nose, our tongue, our hearing, and our touch. So each sense has got its own faculty. So the faculty will look at something. Let's say eye faculty will look at something, and there's a contact, right? So that means that is the eyes. So that means individually it functions differently. There's no one person at all. That means no driver, but it's combination of the five faculty. So the Buddha also mentioned in the debate with this the Jain Mahavira. Mahavira is the leader of Jainism. Jainism during the Buddha time also at the same time, and they become very popular. In Jainism and Buddhism, almost same except for anatta. In Buddhism, we believe in non-killing, ahimsa. We don't kill unnecessarily. Same as in Jainism. In Jainism, no killing. In fact, they went very extreme. They went so extreme that they are the first to create our mask, the one that we wear in the COVID. They started 2,600 years ago. They were wearing the mask. They don't want to kill germs. The idea is they don't want to kill germs. They went to very extreme. So in Jainism, they believe, that karma is our main problem. And if we don't get rid of this bad karma, then we cannot enter moksha. We were then reborn again as a cockroach or belong as a snake or a rat or a cow or lembu and all that. So the Buddha came along at that time. So they had a very heavy debate. So then the Buddha says, if if you can have a soul, or if you are whoever the owner of your body, how come you cannot control your body to be young? Why are you having white hair? So then it says, if you cannot control your body, then it's not mine. It's not mine. So that's where he said there's no soul, right? In fact, in one of the Majjhima Nikaya, he says very clearly, this is not mine, this I am not, this is not myself. So with that, he debunked he debunked the atta. Atta means soul, anatta means non-soul, with the A in front. Atta means soul. So Buddhism do not believe in reincarnation. We believe in rebirth. So this Paticca Samuppada explained very clearly that there's no soul in it. All right. Okay. Next one. Impermanent. All phenomena, including mental and physical states, are in constant flux, leading to the conclusion that attachment causes suffering. I think this one quite easy to understand. If you attach too much, I think you don't let go, so you will suffer because you cannot let go. Right? I think this one quite easy. Of course, Paticca Samuppada also gave birth to the Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Noble Path. This forms the role of the Buddha's teaching, guiding individual to understand suffering, its cause, and the path to liberation. Okay? This is the 12 link I'm talking about. Avijja, Pachaya, Sankara. Avijja means ignorance. Ignorance gives rise to the karmic formation, right? So, if this karmic formation, the Sankara will not come by itself, but due to ignorance that it came. Then Sankara, Pachaya, Vinayam, meaning karmic formation is the condition that gives rise to consciousness, right? So, many years ago, I was in the Dhamma talk. One of the friend asked a question to Bante, the speaker of the day. He says, Bante, at what stage or at what time the consciousness enter the womb, or the baby or the fetus, at what stage is consciousness? Now he has already explained here. He explained during conceptual time that's already formation of the consciousness. Vinaya Pachaya Nama Rupa. So as the consciousness took place, the mother and father come together during the period. So there is a sperm and an egg, and a formation will take place. So it will turn into, like I mentioned, phenomena, mental and physical body, right? So there's a mental and a body. The five faculty is coming in now. Then Namarupa Pachaya Salaya Tanam. Mental and physical phenomena condition the six sense base. Remember just now I spoke about the six sense base? So because of the formation of the baby, then the six sense base, that means the faculty of our senses will be formed, right? Pachaya, then the Saratana Pachaya Paso. Paso means contact. Remember just now I said, once you have the faculty, then you can see things. So that will then tell you what it is. So there was another part in the sutta. People asked the Buddha, when did the world started, how did the world became, and so forth. So the Buddha says, the world started with your sense faculty. The minute you are able to open your eyes, open your ear, open your mouth, then the world comes into you. and that's your world. You got it? So this is very abstract, very hard to understand. But this is the way the Buddha explained. You and your world is yours. Meaning, if you have another friend, his world is different. Now I come to think of it, I think it's true also. Because I live my life, he live his life. It's a little bit different. He cannot be the same life. So we are not robots, we have our own world. So the world is actually on the outside. Actually, no, the world is actually what we have taken inside. Right? So we happen to be here, to be among the people in the world. Then I say pasa pacaya vedana. So because of the contact, remember just now I say you see something, let's say you see a flower, then you get the feeling. Vedana means feeling. So there are three types of feeling, a good feeling. Another feeling is the bad feeling. So let's say you see some cow dung, then you say that's no good. Then there's also another feeling, neither good or neither bad. So that type of three feeling. Because that feelings then will engage you to the things that you associate with. So that becomes your world. Then Vedana Pachaya Tanha. Because of that feeling, you are aroused to it. When you are aroused to it, you tend to want it some more. Đức có ai, bị thing, right? So this will, I think everyone will understand the greed. So this give birth to a lot of greed, which actually gives us a lot of problem, right? I think most of you are elderly people, you understand what I'm trying to say. And Tangha Pachaya Upadaman. Upadaman means this craving that we have a little bit, when you have a little bit more, it becomes craving again. That means you are like a drug addict, Look, get your eye here. So the cleaning is the problem. So if you can cut craving, then you don't have the clinging, right? Once you want clinging, that means I know a lot of people in the office, they want the position of the CEO. So what he do? He do all the bad things, backstabbing and all that. So he forgot himself, that he shouldn't do that. So he ignorant. So at whatever cost, he will do it. I know some boys, I come from Teluk. I hear this story. This boy want to marry the girl. Then the girl look down on the boy and say, look, in Teluk, we're talking about fishing village. How are you going to marry my daughter? He went to work very hard. And end of the day, he bought 6 fishing boats. And he tell the girl's father, now I want to marry your daughter. So the father gave. So that means he really want to marry the daughter. So this is called clinging. He cling to it, right? So is it clinging? Is it good or bad? You cannot say it's totally bad, because if young children, you tell them, try to be so ambitious, then the boy is useless. So we still need to control. But here, I think what he mentioned here is the craving part. The craving whereby for those lust, greed, pleasure. So we have to cut those off, right? So we have to actually guide our children what to cut off, what to hold on to. Then Upadana Pachaya Bhavo. Bhavo means becoming, existent. Because of this cleaning, you cannot let go. Even if I get a heart attack, I want to come back again. Alright? So that is the nature of life. Right? So all of you here, including me, when we die, I'm sure we'll come back again in another form. Right? So this is the what call it, the law of paticca samuppada. Right? Then bhava pachaya jati. So because of this existence and all that, then you are born. When you die, you are born again. So if you study the Abhidhamma explain about how the mind works. There are 89 citta and 52 cetasika. That means the phenomena faculty of the mind. And then in one thinking moment, there are 17 thinking thoughts. sorry, there are there are one thinking moment, there are 17 thinking thoughts, meaning there is a lot of some from your previous karma, some is your action karma, and some you're going to go for future karma. So they are called javana. Among the chitta, there are 7 javana. So this seven javana is always in your mind, and the stream of thoughts in your mind is called vibhanga, and vibhanga is there from the day you are born until the day you die. Whether you are awake or whether you are sleeping, whether you are working or not, the vibhanga is there. So along the way, when you are thinking or not, when you're thinking or doing some action, the javana comes in, to play the action. So when you come to almost your death, almost your time, then the last thinking consciousness is called chuti chitta. Chuti chitta is the last thinking moment. Pop, when it finish already, it's like electricity. It goes to another rebirth according to your karma weightage. So according to karma weightage, you're born according to the rank that you deserve to be in. And the first chitta there is called Bhakti Santi Chitta. And this is where it goes into the baby's womb. Remember the consciousness I spoke about? So then it comes in, and then that's where the whole life begins again. Right? Jati Pachaya Jara Marana Soka Parideva Dukkha. Birth, condition, aging, and death. Sorrow, lamentation, pain, distress. Number 12. Domana Supaya Se Sambhavanti, thus the whole mess of suffering. Because of birth, then you get into the whole mess of suffering again. Do you agree? Yeah, I think so. I think this is very interesting. In our eyes, or any scientist cannot see this, only through the meditative. So during the time when the Buddha had a third watch, after he had a third watch, he said, there rose in me lights, there rose in me knowledge, there rose in me wisdom. So there rose in me the lights of the Dhamma. And at that time, he was just thinking to himself, what I have seen now is very deep, is very profound, and I'm not sure I can share it with people, because a lot of people will have dust in their eyes. People will not understand. Ordinary people are actually lured by the lust, lured by ignorance, lured by, covered by all this dust in their eyes. Then at that time, there was a Deva Sampati came down from heaven and plead to the Lord Buddha and said, Bante, please teach the knowledge that you have now. Because there are also some people with little dust in the eyes. Right? So I hope all of you qualify for that, with little dust in the eyes. So, you have little dust in the eyes? Very much dust in the eyes. Yeah, so, in Buddhism, it's not about just knowledge. Because I was reading the Majjhima Nikaya, and in one part where he talk about the 7 factor of enlightenment, he says, when I breathe in long, I know I'm breathing in long. When I breathe in short, I know I'm breathing in short. So what's the meaning short? What is the meaning long? Is it the time inhale long? But then when I realized, I've gone to some meditation practice, then I realized by reading and understanding the Dharma, that's academic, you must also practice. Because I went to the teacher, I had a Sri Lankan teacher, very good. Then she told me, breathing long means the air that flows through your nostril, the place where it rubs your inside of the nostril is long. Breathing short means just the tip of the nostril. That means you really concentrate. Your your samadhi. So you need to have good teacher to teach the Dharma, right? Just imagine the Buddha walked for 45 years around the India. I only got 45 minutes, so there's no way, And also, I did not live so long because the Buddha has perfected his life. So many paramis. There are 10 paramis, right? So he had to live life after life after life after life to perfect. So that's why he's called a Sama Sambuddha. Sama Sambuddha means a person who is able to discover the Dhamma by himself. He doesn't have a teacher. Sama Sambuddha. So we are very fortunate, although it's already 2,600 years ago, we are very fortunate that we still have this the sutta with us, right? So I'm very glad that tonight I'm able to share with you the things that the Buddha has taught us. So I'll continue. This is the part whereby said by Sariputta. Sariputta, he was one of the most learned disciple of the Buddha. So Sariputta, together with Moggallana, they come from one same kampong, They were also looking for liberation, looking for answers in their life. He couldn't find any answers. Then one day he was wandering in the forest. Then he saw a monk there, Then the monk was actually Asaji. Remember I told you the Buddha has 5 monks. So one of them is Asaji. So he went to Bante, the Asaji. He says, Abuso, who is your teacher? What is the doctrine? What is the doctrine that the teacher has taught you? Because you look like, you're like enlightened, your face is so radiant and all that. So Asaji was a very modest person. He said, I only know very little. I only know very little. Then the Sariputta said, whatever it is, you tell me, what is the essence? What is the core teaching of the Buddha? So Asaji says that whatever phenomena, natural or man-made that arise, it will eventually cease, eventually deplete away. So then with that, Sariputta said, I must meet the teacher because that is the answer. So then that's how Sariputta became very close to the Buddha and learned. And then at that time, when the Buddha has a very big sangha, more than thousands of devotees and monks, so Sariputta would give sermons. So Sariputta said this. He said, whoever sees the paticca samuppada sees the Dhamma. Whoever sees the Dhamma sees the paticca samuppada. This is the part also is very interesting. You remember I told you there are 3 watch. After the third watch, and then the Buddha already enlightened. So he says, "Oh house builder, you are seen. You will not build this house again, for your rafter are broken and your ridgepole shattered. My mind has reached the unconditioned. I have attained the destruction of craving." So what is the meaning? The house here? What do you think is the house? House means our body, our body. So he tells whoever the house builder is that you will never build another house again because I've shattered all your pillar, your walls, everything, right? So he has found liberation. He has gone into Nibbana. So you can read this in the Dhammapada, verse 154. Oh, we are still in the introduction. Alright, so I think we have covered this part here, where we talk about the theory of Paticca Samuppada. Actually can explain about the rebirth. So you remember I talked about the rebirth, right? So the rebirth, let's say Brother Tay passed away. Will we see another Brother Tay in the next life? No, he could be Brother Tan. He could be Brother Wong, right? So it cannot be the same brother day again. And then his feature also different because different parent, right? So, but in India, in ancient India, they were very tied to this Brahmanism. That although brother Tay can be brother Wong or brother Tan or looks like somebody, but he's still brother Tay, you know. So I don't know how they're going to prove it, but in Buddhism, we have our way of proving that rebirth. Meaning, if brother Tay, you owe me say $5,000, right? You owe me 5,000, or I owe you $5,000. I owe you $5,000. Then when you are born again, you can remember that I owe you 5,000. You will tell whoever your mommy and come and look for me because you want to collect 5,000. So this has been actually documented. This has been proven. If you have can study the great professor, I forgot his name. Correct. Steve Stevenson, right? James Stevenson, I think. Steve Stevenson. Okay, so anyway, he is from the University of Chicago. He has published a lot of books, and it has got nothing to do with religion. He has gone even to Brazil. He has gone to Asian country. He has gone to Western country. So he has debunked this soul. He has debunked it because it's only rebirth, right? Okay, so can we continue? How is our craving that tie us to the samsara? I think I've already explained. Because we want to cling in. After we cling in upadana, then we want to have an assistant bhava. We want to be reborn again. So that is the thing. How rebirth can be ended and destruct. Remember the formula I mentioned just now? When this happens, that comes to be. When this arises, that arises. When this does not happen, that does not come to be. Right? When this does not arise, that ceases. That means it says here very clearly, if there's no birth, there's no more. If there's no craving for it, that means there's no more rebirth. So this answers the question that he has. Remember, I told you the Buddha got three main questions. Why do we need to age? Why we fall sick? Why we need to die? So now he says by escaping rebirth, you escape all these three, not need to suffer. So that was the answer. So he found the answer. He's a great scientist. Yeah. Can.
This chain of origination, if you break one of the chain,
if you can break one of the chain, but very hard to break other chain. I'm going to show you there's two areas to break the chain. It's like a wheel got 12 spoke, but the other spoke are very strong. So the Buddha said there's one gap which is very weak. That is a weakest link. You can break the link. I'm going to show you. Okay, so this is a 12 link. I just want to repeat again. Ignorance will then give rise to sankhara. Okay, I want to repeat again so that at least you can remember. Then from the sankhara, it give rise to. Oh, I missed the link. To vinaya. Yeah, consciousness. Consciousness then give rise to nama rupa. So this is where the baby form. Then inside the baby, the sixth sense base is formed, or sixth sense faculty is formed. Salayatana. And when the baby already born, then he's contact to the world, right? Then when you contact to the world, you get Vedana, feelings. Then when there's feelings, then your life becomes complicated, right? You want to have more. You want, then the greed take place. So again, this greed explain explain the four noble truth, the second noble truth, right? Second noble truth is to explain the three evil roots that give birth to suffering. So this is it, craving, tanha. Tanha is the main root. Then tanha here give rise to upadana. Upadana means clinging. Clinging, remember? Clinging is actually another word for intensified craving. When the craving intensifies, it becomes clinging. So this is very dangerous, right? Then because of this clinging, intensified clinging, you want to be born again. You want to be born again, bhava. Right? So then bhava will give rise to birth, jati. Right? So jati, when there is birth, there is pain, sorrow, lamentation, grief, and a whole mass of suffering. Oh, I have done the opposite. Aging, death. Aging and death. Jara, marana. So we are now all in the cycle of samsara. Men are corrupted and become ignorant. Ignorance is the main factor that blinds us. So, Brother Hong, the ignorant is actually ignorant of Four Noble Truth. So, if you could understand the Four Noble Truth, then you can cut this wheel. So, this is one of the area. But this one is very difficult for you. The easier for lay people is the other one called craving. Craving is the easier one. Now, now explain the relationship of the Paticca Samuppada to the Four Noble Truths, right? So, in the first Noble Truth, the Paticca explained the cycle of samsara, driven by this link, lead to repeat, which experience suffering in life. I think you all know. Remember, I told you, you die, you're born again, you die, you're born again. So the Paticca Samuppada explained the first Noble Truth. And the second Noble Truth, this is the one, Brother Ong. The second noble truth identified tanha as the cause of suffering. Right? So, what is craving to you? What is craving to you? Something that you want, right? Something that you want. Look, this is the I. There are four types of clinging, four types of clinging. Clinging to things like material, relationship, pleasure. Second one is clinging to views. Some people cling to certain views, and because you cling to a certain view which is wrong, that causes you to suffer. That's wrong for false view. Then another type of clinging is I forgot. Yeah, I just forgot. Actually, there are four types of clinging. Ego is one of them. Okay. Another the last one is ego lah, which is the clinging to self. This is self, yeah. Myself, yeah. Yes. So we have to understand non-self. If we understand non-self, clinging to the self, make you want to be born again, right? So there's no use of clinging to the self. Okay. So also. Regarding the dukkha, there are actually three types of dukkha. The first dukkha is dukkha dukkata. This is the ordinary suffering that you and I suffer when we get a card, or when your children come back. You say, I'm pregnant, when they are not even married. So these are the dukkha we face every day. And also, also you will experience, you get things you don't want. Don't mind, but you get this manager or you get this kind of son-in-law, right? Then things that you want, I want this daughter-in-law, but you cannot get, So this is also dukkata. Then the second type of dukkha is viparina nama dukkha, which actually produced due to change. Right, your family member died, passed away, or like you suddenly your house caught fire, you lose everything. So this will give you immense suffering. So this is the second type of suffering. And the third type of suffering, this is actually just now we talk about the ego, sankara, sankara dukkha. The dukkha that we think of self, me, mine, myself. So because of you want to have that actually bring you a lot of suffering. So the Buddha explained that these are the three dukkha that you have to watch out. In short, the five aggregate is the attachment to dukkha. What are the five attachment? Five attachment. Nama rupa. The body, I want to be beautiful all the time. And then also, the feelings, you want to have good feeling, you want to have a nice look, you want to taste the good things in life. So these are actually your enemy. Although they are you think it's you, but actually they are your enemy, right? Okay, the relationship to the third noble truth, by eliminating ignorance and craving, and other contribution factor, the cycle can be disrupted leading to. This is to answer your question, Brother Ong. So craving is the part where the Buddha says that little gap is like a line, a crack in the wall. That one you can penetrate through. The rest is very solid. How are you going to penetrate through? You cannot. But craving you can. Only through craving you can penetrate through. So once you penetrate through destruction of the craving, the other links all collapse. Just like a deck of cards. Long-term semua jatuh. So craving is the place where you want to cut off. And the fourth noble truth is the Eightfold Noble Path is the way to break this cycle of death and rebirth. So the Noble Eightfold Path is the formula. Buddha is a scientist. He even gave you a formula how to cut the craving. So you have to practice right view, right thought, right speech, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. So you follow this path. You follow this path, your craving, one layer by one layer will be removed. Right? So this is how to do it. Right? Practical application of daily life. By practicing mindfulness, you can observe how thoughts, feeling, and reaction arises in the mind. Right? So I think everyone knows what's mindfulness. But whether we practice or not is another thing. So we have to be mindful all the time. Whether we are driving, we are talking, we are eating, we have to be mindful. Mindful of our craving. Mindful of the words we say. For instance, noticing how craving for pleasure experience lead to clinging. I told you already. The clinging is the intensified craving. So if you can identify them, they help you in the process. And number third one is by recognizing this pattern, you can intervene, choosing to respond with wisdom rather than automatic. So that means there are a lot of young people especially, they don't filter. So they simply say the wrong things, right? They do the wrong action. So the Buddha says that karma can only come from three windows. What are the window? Body, speech, and mind. Yeah? Through your body, the way you act, the way you use your signal, your gesture, the way you dress, right? So body, speech, the way you talk, mind, the way you think, right? Actually, karma starts from the mind itself. The mind starts the plot to bring this fellow down, the plot to bring that fellow down. So the plot itself is ego. So you got to be very mindful in your mind, right? So we have to watch out the body, speech, and mind. Mindfulness and dependent origination. Understanding that craving leads to suffering, you can consciously work to reduce desire for material possession, status, or even specific outcome. Remember just now I told you he want to be a CEO. There's very specific outcome. If he doesn't get that, his world collapses. That's suffering for him. So you have to relax a bit, In Buddhism, especially us, we know that this is not only our only lifetime. We're going to die, we're going to be born again. So this life you cannot become a monk. Okay, next life now, right? So don't think that you lost your chance. You always have another chance, right? So this is a good way. Case study analysis real life scenario. Dependent origination shows that actions have consequences, right? So remember I told you something arise to something, right? So there's always a consequences. So for every action you do, there's always a reaction. So you have to watch out for your own reaction. By being aware of this, you can make more mindful choices. For example, understanding harsh word can lead to conflict, right? I think this one we are all expert in it already. The gap between feeling and craving. This is the part where the Buddha says, the gap between feeling and craving provides a viable opportunity to break ourselves from the motion of this wheel. It is a hairline crack on the wall that gives us a chance to pierce through. After piercing through this link, bit by bit, we uproot the craving in our mind. By destroying this link, the structure of the 12 links will collapse. Yeah, Mr. Ong? This is what the Buddha says. So this is the gap. So that means you work on your craving. So instead of go and work on the 12 links, he tell you already. So that means the Buddha already tell you, he give you a GPS how to go. One is enough, correct. So we are very fortunate that there's a Buddha to give us a GPS, to come. In fact, I came from Penang with GPS. I used the West Coast Express. So so nice. So this is the Buddha gave a GPS. So we must also use the GPS, so we know how to go to our own destination. Right? Thus, making way for us to be free from the cycle of death and rebirth. I don't know how many of you want to escape from samsara. One. Yeah. But some people still want to attach to their handbag, attach to their house, their children. I think we have to let go. Whatever it is, I'm just thinking myself. If I leave, maybe my children will remember me. If another 20 years after I die, maybe my grandson will remember me. But given another 50 years after I die, nobody will remember me anymore. You understand? So there's no point clinging to whatever you have, because you are just one small tiny speck of the entire world. So you must realize, the Buddha already say, hey, this what you are going through is actually the whole mass of suffering. Or whatever sweet that you take now is just temporary, it won't be long, right? Okay, I continue. By having the understanding of the working of the wheel of the Paticca Samuppada, we reduce the state of ignorance. Just now we were taught about the 12 links, right? So what the Buddha wants to tell us, because we are very blind, we are very ignorant about how we are born and die. So ignorance is actually one of the link we can break. So to break the link of ignorance is to understand the Four Noble Truth. And in the Four Noble Truth, the Fourth Noble Truth says that to eradicate the suffering is through the Noble Eightfold Path, right? The Noble Eightfold Path. So there's one story about the last time when the Buddha was giving a lot of sermons, and then they will pay respect to the Buddha, right? They will. Then there was King Saka. He came down. King Saka came down. He says, "How come you all?" Because they also listening to the Dharma in the Devaran. He said, "How come you all don't also pray to? Thank to us, because we are part of you." So that's how the Buddha from that day onwards says that when we have this rejoice in the Dharma, we also rejoice in them. So what I'm trying to say, King Saka during that time he also asked the Buddha, because King Saka has also his kingdom. So there were a lot of questions posed to him. There are a lot of doctrine, there are a lot of people saying this is good, that is good, this is better, that is better. So he asked the Buddha, which is actually the best? So the Buddha says, the gift of Dhamma excel all gift, right? And the taste of Dhamma excel all taste, and the delight in Dhamma excel all delight, and the destruction of craving actually eradicate all kind of suffering. So he actually explained very well that the Dhamma given to us can answer our suffering, our circle of death and rebirth, death and rebirth. Right? So, of course, to summarize, the Buddha says we have to avoid evil, cultivate good, purify the mind. I think this is very easy to say now. Of course, I think most of you here practice the 5%. You practice the 5%? Practice, yeah. In fact, lay people will practice the 5. Not all the time. The lie part, the second precept. Why lie? Second precept is hard to. In fact, I once met a monk, a British monk. I say in your Vinaya 227 rules, which is the hardest to keep? He said the same thing. He said keeping the right speech is the most difficult. Even monks find it very difficult, right? But we still have to try to speak truthfully, right? So Buddhism is not a religion of belief, it is a religion of practice. The purpose of Buddhist practice is to purify the mind. Now, just now I mentioned about Buddhism is not just academic, you must practice. So if you can do meditation, in fact meditation is one of the way to travel. You travel inside. You can see there's a lot of things inside, you know. If you could see your mind, actually in your mind, so many things to see, right? So the more you know, the nearer you get to liberation. In fact, I read the Majjhima Nikaya. The Buddha mentioned in the Noble Eightfold, in the eight Noble Eightfold Path, we have to do right view and all that, right? He says you have to do 2 more. For serious practitioner, he spoke to the monk. For serious practitioner, you have to do 2 more. So you got right view, right understanding, right speech, right thought, right speech, right effort, right livelihood, right mindfulness, right concentration, and 2 more. One is right knowledge and right wisdom. Right? So actually there are 10. If you're serious enough, you know there are 10. If you just tell me you know 8, and then I know you haven't reached that stage yet. Right? So we have to practice. Only by practicing we can penetrate the ignorance. Right? But if you can break the craving, the whole thing also collapse. So also can. Right? So though a general may conquer 1,000 times, 1,000 men in a battle, yet he indeed is noblest victor who conquer himself. So, meaning, remember I told you the world is actually inside, but it looks as though it's outside. So you must actually conquer inside. Right? So this is what you mean. So try to fight yourself. It's nothing to do with people outside. If you want to break craving or you want to break ignorance, you have to deal with yourself inside. Right? So you have to fight your own war. This war is yours. Okay, this is the 12 link. We have got ignorance, avijja. Avijja give rise to what? Sankara. Sankara give rise to Vinaya. Vinaya give rise to Namarupa. Naparupa give rise to the 6 sense base. The 6 sense base leads to contact. Contact gives rise to feeling. Yeah, this is the trouble. Trouble. Feeling gives rise to craving. Craving give rise to clinging, yeah, intensified, this intensified craving. So clinging give rise to becoming, yes. Becoming give rise to birth. Birth give rise to aging and death, right? So these are the two areas that we should attack. These are the two areas we should attack. If you want to get out of samsara, but if you don't want to get out of samsara, you think this world is still finished. I mean, unfinished work. You want to continue to travel around the world, then then you don't have to break the carrying. You buy more ticket, accumulate more money.
Actually, every time see something, that feeling you learn by the food.
Hmm.
And you put the
Hmm. Hmm. Thank you, brother.
mindfulness.
Yeah.
But they also say
Yeah.
the
So.
first thing actually
Thank you, Brother Lam. So, Brother Lam mentioned to attack the craving is through mindfulness. Yeah? Once we are mindful with the things that we think about or to grasp on, we must be mindful. Is this craving or not? If it's craving, we let go. Then we can, like I said, mentioned, layer by layer, let go of the craving. Then eventually we can break this link. Okay, I think. Okay, if ignorance is to be destroyed, then the 5% is our defense, the Noble Eightfold Path is our strategy, Paticca Samuppada is the map of the battleground. It locates the enemy and points out to the weakness of the defense. You got it? Very nicely done. So the Buddha gave us everything. Not only give you the GPS, he tell you where are the police block, he tell you where are the traffic jam. So he actually gave us everything. The Buddha gave us everything. He gave us all the tools, all the maps. Okay, let's recap about the formula. Can you remember the formula? When this exists, that comes to be. With the arising of this, that arises. When this does not exist, that does not come to be. With the cessation of this, that ceases. Okay? I think I've come to the end of my talk today. I hope you have enjoyed and learned something. Yeah. Right? Okay. So, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.